I'm Nigel Green and I'm the CEO of the deVere Group. It's been an incredible year for scrutiny. It's been change from a taxation point of view. So there's been an enormous amount of change, and perhaps I'm oversensitive to it, but I actually feel that even clients' perspective on investment has changed to some extent. So it's been flexible planning all the way, and that means you plan, but you have flexibility, and you're always looking for plan B and plan C, and making sure that you're ready to adapt to the changing circumstances. Some things are easier to deal with than others. Regulatory changes are perhaps the biggest challenge of all the things that you mentioned. Although the 25% tax on cure-ops did mean that there were some significant changes needed very, very quickly. So all of those things you have to remove yourself, if I can put it that way. And that means remove the emotion. You can't get too emotional about things and too emotional about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So it's really to look at things in the cold light of day, not overreact, because you can overreact, but then on the other hand, you don't want to underreact. So yeah, very, very fine line, and something that takes a lot of soul searching and analysis, sometimes of yourself as well as of the marketplace. My reviews start with what I would call good questions. So rather than review the business, what I first of all do is I ask myself good questions. So I might spend an hour or maybe 2 hours just writing down what I consider to be good questions. So, a good question may be, where do you think the business is going to be in 5 years' time? So taking a clean piece of paper, looking at the business after the changes, and asking yourself, those really deep questions about yourself, as well as the business. So you'll hear me there say two things. I'm not just looking at the business, I'm looking at myself personally, because if I'm not motivated, I can't expect to motivate other people. And if I'm not excited about the industry, then I can't expect to excite other people about the industry. So I've got to look at where the opportunities are, I've got to look at things that I'm excited about, and I've got to look at where I think the business is going to be in 5 years' time. It's often easy to see where you think it's going to be in 5 years' time, but of course that can change very, very quickly. Yes, I think that in the main, fees are deserved. Financial advice, particularly international financial advice, is complex, and the consequences of not taking advice are extremely expensive. So actually, yes, fees in the vast majority of cases are correct. International advice is complex. International financial advice where cross borders are involved, then yes, if good advice is given in the same way as a good lawyer gives you good advice, then that's going to cost you money. But if it's good advice, it actually saves you money. So I think we shouldn't focus on the costs, but we should also focus on the savings and the fact that people need money for retirement. They don't want to be paying huge amounts of unnecessary tax because they weren't advised. So let's be proud of what we do. Let's be proud of the fact that we can deliver good returns and that good financial advice pays for people. It pays them in the long term because they will secure their financial futures.
So gym fees are on the first floor, and I'm coming down with a camera.
Training in graduates and training new people into the industry. So when we take people on that are graduates, they do a 3-week course here where we're teaching them how to use the telephone, we do technical sessions, and we get them to do CISI 1. So they do their first stage of being a wealth manager. Okay, we've also got a recruitment team here. You'll see the desks, stand-up desks. I believe that when you make a phone call, you're better stood up. So when you stood up making a call, then the voice comes from here. When you sat down, it comes from here.
It's very important to me. I need to understand what I'm feeling. I need to understand what clients are feeling. So I'm looking at it from both perspectives. You know, when I'm analysing products, for example, would I buy it myself? Would I use it myself? Because if I'm not going to use it, it's unlikely that anybody else is. Would I invest in that product? If I wouldn't invest in it, well, really, are other people going to invest in it? So it's looking at yourself as an expatriate, looking at yourself as an investor, and also looking at the things that you enjoy from a business point of view. So whilst I want deVere to expand and grow, I always look at it and say, do I enjoy that? Because if I don't enjoy it, again, I can't expect other people within the organisation to. I've got some strange things. One of the things I have is I don't want to work with people directly that I don't enjoy working with. So that's a strange one, because you could have a manager, but if you don't enjoy working with them, you get up in the morning and you've got to talk to someone that you actually don't like, that's not good. So when I'm analysing it, I take those sort of things into consideration and make sure that I'm working with the right people, with the right projects that I'm excited about and I believe other people are going to be excited about.
What's your biggest industry regret? You've had time to reflect on your time within this industry. What's your biggest regret?
Wow, biggest regret. Okay, that is a tough question. I guess sometimes you trust people that you shouldn't have trusted. So you look back on that, and I guess the regret is you kind of had an idea. So you kind of go, you've trusted somebody, and you knew at the time that there wasn't something quite right, and you didn't act on it. So yeah, I guess that would be my biggest regret without being personal, particularly on camera. So yeah, I guess my regrets would be that you look back, and it's easy looking back and going, I shouldn't have done that. But it's the ones where you kind of had an idea. Yeah, not you know, there are occasions when you've just been completely fooled and nobody could have guessed, right? So, you know, you live with those. But where you kind of had a little idea and you didn't react. So I guess gut feelings are often right for all of us. And it's making sure that you react to those gut feelings. So regrets, I don't lose sleep over them, but there's a couple in there that, you know, saying I should have reacted. Had a feeling and I didn't. Okay, they're my regrets, but not regrets that I lose sleep over. And I do, as I mentioned earlier on in the interview, move on quickly. So yeah, they're regrets, but I get over it quick, and yeah, let's get on with the future.
And the follow-up question from that is, what's the thing you're most proud of?
That's going to be that's in the future. So you'd only go family on that one. So yeah, so you know, the career so far, there are things that I've done that you know, overall I'd say I'm proud of what I've achieved. I'm proud of what deVere's achieved. But sit back on it, no, there's nothing there that I'd go, I'm proud and, you know, let's look at it. There's certain things we've done very, very well, and all of us in the company are proud of those things. But you know, you can't be proud of last season. Reality is there's a new season just started. And every day you've got to look to the future. You know, people interested in history should read books, and I'm interested in it. I read the books on it, but I don't live it. So the future's where it's at, and you could have a great 10 years, but then make one mistake, right? And then all of a sudden it's not good. So let's live in the present, let's look to the future, and I'm excited about the industry, and I'm excited about what deVere can achieve within the industry.